I think that the amount of manifestation content that I've been seeing is kind of what's concerning.
Yeah, we've seen even soft black man era or something.
These aesthetics are killing.
They're killing individuality.
Yeah.
I feel like if I wanted to become an astronaut tomorrow, I could.
But I think that it's so great to be delusional, but it's also scary.
There's a point where it's unhealthy.
So today I'm here with the multi-talented media creator and model, Brianna Johnson.
Hey guys.
Brianna, welcome to Over Tea, where we have discussions over tea and sometimes spill it. Thank you so much for being here, truly.
Of course.
Okay, so I'm going to be serving us some lemon ginger honey tea.
Ooh.
It has many, many benefits. It's great for inflammation, indigestion. It can even boost your immune system. So I hope you like it. Do you want some honey?
Yeah, I'll take a little bit.
Okay, good.
And then I want to try
have a little bit too. Yeah, let's try it before we get into these discussions. Is that enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thanks, girl.
You're welcome. Let's stir it up. And cheers.
And cheers. Some good tea.
It's very good. Very, very good. Okay, so let's get started. Brianna, one thing I really admire about you is your passion for discussing and debating controversial topics. I swear, literally every week I get a text from you about a random question in our group chat, and it will spark debate for like a whole hour among us. So I really love that about you. So today I want to talk with you about something that I think has been really popular on social media recently. I think with the new year, people are very eager to make changes in their personal lives. And there's nothing wrong with that. I totally believe in new year, new me. But I think because of that, I've been seeing a lot more content about manifestation on my timeline. And don't get me wrong, like I see nothing wrong with manifestation. I manifest myself. I think I think manifestation comes in many forms. It can be like prayer, it can be the things that you say, it can be scripting, journaling, anything really. But I think that the amount of manifestation content that I've been seeing is kind of what's concerning.
Yeah, it's a whole nother level now.
Yes, like especially for Gen Z, our generation, I feel like people are starting to replace it or use it as an excuse to not work hard. And that's where I'm getting a little bit concerned because it's like, yes, manifest, but like you can't just write it down in your journal and think the next day it's going to be come to life.
Or you can't just say like, oh, I want this, I want that. I see myself here and not do any work to get there.
Do anything.
Yeah. And I think also some people think that just by like doing one small thing is gonna change everything, and sometimes that's not the case. You have to like every day do something.
It literally it takes a lot of discipline to reach your goals, and I feel like that's becoming lost in our generation, and it's scaring me. Like when that whole debate was going on social media about nobody wants to work anymore, I kept my mouth shut, but I kind of agree. Like I honestly agree because I feel like social media is making people think that things come easy. And that's really not the case.
I especially think because we live in a world where there's so much technology, and you see people talk about like having anxiety, and there's more depression now than ever. I think a lot of people battle more, so I think it's easier to quit. And at the same time, we're like pushing this like manifestation, everything will happen. But at the same time, we can't be making excuses and not do, not pursue things, even if we face like difficulty doing that.
Yes. Like you're going to face adversity. You're going to have obstacles. And at the end of the day, it's about discipline. It's about every day, like you said, steps. Like, it's not just one thing and then you quit. Like, you really have to make things happen every single day.
Exactly.
Like, even that whole conversation that Michelle Obama has been talking about in relationships as well, like, things take work. Like,
Things
you
take
really,
work.
you can't just quit when things get hard.
I think a lot of people just don't, the minute it seems like an ultimatum or a compromise to their individuality, they don't want to do it. You know, like, you heard the term quiet quitting now, and people just like choosing their own decisions for their mental health and stuff. And I think that's great, but I think that sometimes you can be blocking your own blessings.
You can.
By like giving in too much to the idea that if something doesn't feel right or doesn't work, then it's not for me. Like,
then the universe is like giving you a sign that it's not for you.
I think at the end of the day, you do have to make your decisions that are best for you. But I think that sometimes you have to go through like hard times, and you have to just know that it's temporary.
It's not always going to be easy at all. And I think something that goes hand in hand with that is, have you been seeing how everybody on social media is like, oh, you need to be delusional. You have to be delusional to reach your goals because this and that. I mean, I believe in that. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm as delusional as they come.
Yeah. Me too.
I feel like if I wanted to become an astronaut tomorrow, I could.
Like,
I can.
And you know what? I think that it's so great to be delusional, but it's also scary.
There's a point where it's unhealthy.
And
it's like, I think, like, we go back to what we were saying, people don't really want to work as much. I think when you are delusional, you have to take account in, okay, but like, yes, you believe in yourself, but what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you really doing?
What are you really doing? Are you just sitting in your bed thinking, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 years? What's your plan?
Yeah, you can't wish upon a star.
What's the strategy?
You gotta have a plan every single day. Like, I remember even when I was a senior in high school or a junior, and I knew I wanted to go to university in Miami. I remember for my parents, it was so hard because it was so far away. And they were like, especially my dad was very against the idea of me being far. But I remember I did everything I could. I studied relentlessly for my tests. I just remember the feeling of wanting something and putting in the work for it. Even if, like, I remember my guidance counselor even telling me, like, that's an out-of-state school, it's a private school. And like, you know, the test requirements, it's more up there, like just discouraging me. And I just remember feeling like I can get in and I can go. And it happened.
Even though all the cards were stacked against you, it's like a mindset. Like, I don't care.
And even though it's like something that's not a major experience, like, it was still something that I felt.
It is a major experience.
It is. You know, I shouldn't
don't downplay it. Like, going to college and like, especially a college of that caliber, like, that's an accomplishment. So I mean, I think that you do need to be delusional at the end of the day, because if you're not, like, that voice in your head, those external voices, like, if you let those get to you, you're never gonna get
you have to
anywhere.
be the one believing in yourself. For sure.
Because if you don't, then nobody will.
Nobody will.
Another thing that I've been seeing a lot on social media is all of these aesthetics. So we have the soft girl aesthetic. We have
the terminology these days.
We have the vanilla girl.
It's just a little too much to keep up with.
It's like, when is this going to end?
I am for, you know, finding something that you identify with and finding a home in whatever that may be, you know. But I feel like it's the labels on every single thing is crazy.
Like, why are we doing this? That's what I want to understand. Is it like, what I'm starting to think is like, people don't have their own individuality anymore. Or these aesthetics are killing.
They're killing individuality. And I really think that social media is always going to be the culprit of, like,
of
everything now. Like, and it sparks debate. It introduces a new debate. It introduces new terminology. And I think it's just so hard to keep up with, especially the soft girl era has been like the biggest push recently. I see it all on my TikTok feed.
Soft girl this, soft girl that. I'm like, what exactly are we talking about? Are we talking about, like, luxurious? Like, what does it mean to be a soft girl, and is it relatable?
I think that at first it was the aesthetic vibe of somebody waking up early and having a routine and journaling and listening to, like, soft music and, like, yoga. And I think it started with, like, a clean aesthetic of like femininity in being a woman. But I think now it's like we've seen even soft black man era or something like that.
It's like, are we taking it too far?
I mean, hey, we can't exclude genders, I guess, with the soft era. But I will say that I think that the term soft girl era has now kind of muted a woman for having anything raw or rough about her.
Anything that's outside of that is like,
it's like, that's not a woman, or you're not soft.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, why do you have to be a soft woman? Why do you have to be a mysterious woman? I think that's the one that really gets me, is like, I think women want to be mysterious. I think that it all goes back to misogyny at the end of the day. And I will continuously say that, because who are we trying to be mysterious for? Why don't we want to be our full selves and be bold and be confident? It's like another way to mute us.
I agree with that. Because I remember when I first started seeing like the soft girl era stuff, I remember thinking like, oh, that's, you know, that's
something I can get into.
Cute. Yeah. I was like, that's something I can get into.
Right.
But then I realized I love playing loud music all day. Like, when I clean, I love talking. I will not shut up. I don't like to be confined to a routine every single day.
I'm not always
I stray
perfect.
Often. Yes, I'm not always perfect. I get mad. I have emotions. I get annoyed. And I feel like that doesn't identify with soft.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's part of being a woman.
That's part of being human.
Yeah. Like, I think that these labels that we're putting on everything, or on every personality trait, it's really detrimental to especially young women, because we're so impressionable, and it's like we feel like we have to fit into these categories.
Yeah, especially I think for even like 10-year-olds and young people who are on these social media platforms who haven't even created their own identity yet or gone through real life situations. They see like preppy, I have little cousins, and so they're on TikTok and social media, and they see the preppy aesthetic, or they see the like e-boy, they see all types of aesthetics and labels being out there. And
I can't even keep up.
And for me, it's like, I didn't grow up with that. So I had a different experience of
you
what
had
it meant.
A chance to cultivate your own identity.
Yes, without the influence of social media. And now I think it's so easy for young people to see something that's aesthetic or pleasing, and they see it so much because of their feed and the algorithm that they want that, and they choose to identify it. And it's not, I'm not saying that it can't be original, but I'm saying that it's being pushed and influenced so much to the point where it's, like we said, it's kind of killing individuality.
And it makes these kids feel like if they don't fit into one of these categories, then they're like outcast. And that's what I think is the real issue.
So much.
Yeah, it does. It scares me for our generation and future generation, because it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want, even whenever the day that comes that I have kids, I don't want them to feel like they're confided to whatever's trending.
Exactly.
Or if they're not identifying with that there's something wrong with them.
And it's so hard to like kind of know who you want to be or who you are when you have all these influences around you. Like, it's scary. It really is. But yeah, thank you so much for talking with me today over tea. We didn't even sip our tea. Can we take at least one sip? It's really hot.
Just so we can know what it tastes like.
Like, at least. It's really good.
It's really good.
It was really hot.
We need a tea brand to sponsor us.
We do. So, like, immediately with the quickness. Yes. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, these are all very trivial social media issues, but they are becoming a part of our culture in a way. And I think that it's really interesting to analyze these things and just to see the intellectual direction that our generation is heading towards.
Yeah, and we need to not just run with it, but we need to take a few steps back and really think about its effect overall.
Exactly.
And do we really, is it necessary?
Yeah. Is it like,
is it crucial?
Is this really that serious? Like, it is.
Yeah.
But like, we're taking it a little too far.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Well, thank you for talking with me over tea, Brianna. Cheers.
Cheers again.
And I'll see you guys in the next episode.